There's no excuse for it, and nobody is above the law.
Right now on Fox 61, demands for accountability grow in New Britain. A new report sheds light on the alleged misuse of public funds during the former Republican mayor's tenure.
One person is dead after a crash in Windsor. I'm Joe Monti. I'll give you the latest information in just a few minutes.
All those stories and more coming up right here on Fox 61. But first, good morning, everybody. Happy Friday, and welcome to the Fox 61 News at 6. I'm Glenn Kittle. We're going to turn things right over to meteorologist Rachel Piscatelli for a look at the weather. It's a hot stretch of days coming our way, so I guess it's best to be prepared, right?
Absolutely. I mean, it's going to be a hot one again today. If you thought yesterday was warm, today is going to be even hotter with temperatures topping out just around 90 degrees. We do have an air quality alert along the immediate shoreline, so heads up as you head through the afternoon. Air quality levels will be down today, so certainly if you suffer from respiratory issues, it is something that you want to be mindful of and limit time outdoors, as it's going to be hot but not humid today. That's a different story for tomorrow. Over in Hartford right now, we have a little bit of cloud cover, some cirrus clouds filtering our sunshine. 57 degrees. The wind is calm right now. In Torrington now, 51 in Willimantic. We're in the low 50s in Groton, not too far off from this time yesterday. For the kids that are going to the bus stop, it's a cool start, but not bad as you head through the afternoon. It's going to be a hot one for the kids, especially if the classrooms don't have air conditioning either. So send them with lots of water as temperatures move into the mid to upper 80s to right around 90 degrees. And there will be a good chunk of the day where we are in the mid to upper 80s, right along with 11 a.m. already at 82. 3 o'clock in the mid to upper 80s. Heading through the day tomorrow, we're going to crank up the humidity and also the heat. Temperatures around 90 to about 92 degrees. There's also an opportunity for some scattered showers and storms towards the afternoon and into the evening. Really thinking the timing anytime between about 5 and 6 through about 11 o'clock or so, where there could be a couple of those storms that move through, pushing in from the west that do develop with some stronger storms. Main concern here going to be some hail and wind, as well as those embedded downpours. And of course, lightning can be dangerous too. We'll talk about where we go from here. We'll have improvements on the way for Sunday coming up in just a bit. Here at 6:02 on our roadways this morning, just following some delays over in the Bridgeport area, Bridgeport into Fairfield, 9 minutes, area into Westport. Also slow on 95 north at 11 minutes. Travel speeds there, 47 miles per hour. Glenn.
Rachel, thanks. Now we go to that breaking news in Windsor, where a deadly crash has closed a busy stretch of road out there. Now we go over to Fox 61's Joe Monti. He's there with what we know so far. Joe, what do you know?
Good morning, Glenn. Yeah, as you mentioned, there was a deadly crash this morning. It looked like a car and a motorcycle in the exit 34 off-ramp just off of 91. I can show you what the scene looks like right now. Things have cleaned up a little bit. Actually, they're continuing to clean up as we speak. Windsor Ave just reopened a few minutes ago, and it looks like they're getting ready to reopen that on and off-ramp here, headed north, and the off-ramp 91 exit 34. We can tell you what the scene looked like a little earlier, though, and yeah, there you go. Cars getting on the highway right now as we speak. But earlier this morning, you could actually see police cars in the road. You could actually see a motorcycle on the ground. It looked like partially maybe on the sidewalk, and there was a car in the off-ramp stopped, and there was a body in front of it. We did see, we confirmed with police that that was the body, and they had put a sheet over it, actually, I had seen earlier this morning. So it was unfortunately a fatal crash here, but the police had the roads closed off for a few hours, but things have just officially, it looks like, reopened here in Windsor. So it looks like you're not going to have any effect on your commute if you're headed through this area anymore. Previously there was for the last few hours. We'll continue to get you updates. I reached out to the police for more information, and we are waiting to hear back. As soon as we get more information as to what happened, even the identity of the person that lost their life, we'll bring that to you on Fox 61 and fox61.com. Glenn?
Joe, thank you. We'll definitely keep up to date with all the latest information there. And happening today in Enfield, the Connecticut National Guard will hold a training exercise. It started just a few minutes ago and will last until 6 p.m. If you're in the area, you may see an increase of military personnel. Remember that this is just an exercise and there is no threat to public safety at this time. And this morning, former Hartford police officer Joseph Magnano is expected to appear in court. He's charged with felony manslaughter in the death of 55-year-old Stevie Jones back in February. It comes just weeks after a report released by the Office of the Inspector General determined his firing of 9 gunshots at Jones during a mental health crisis was unjustified.
She has done wrong by the city of New Britain. She's done a lot of good things in New Britain, but that one thing I feel is just a disgrace.
In New Britain about the former Mayor Aaron Stewart, a new investigative report raises serious questions about Stewart's conduct while in office. The report released by the Crumbie Law Group concludes Stewart repeatedly pushed the limits of city policy and in some cases crossed them when it came to taxpayer-funded benefits. Investigators say some of those benefits include tens of thousands of dollars in tuition reimbursements and $200,000 of spending on personal items with the city's P card. The investigation also found Stewart and who revenue collector received pensions, even though neither of them met the threshold of serving the city for at least 20 years. The reporter calls the actions a, quote, profound breach of public trust and suggests the conduct could warrant review for possible fraud, theft, embezzlement, false statements, and official misconduct. Crumbie Law Group is now recommending the findings be reviewed by state and federal law enforcement. And the latest developments in the investigation came as a shock to many in New Britain. Fox 61's Kay Pattyfoot spoke to some people who say they're outraged at what they've learned.
Calls for accountability are intensifying in New Britain. A new report accuses former Mayor Aaron Stewart of repeatedly violating city policy and misusing taxpayer funds. Now some are saying she should face jail time.
There's no excuse for it, and nobody is above the law.
Angela has lived in New Britain for 32 years. She says she has seen and experienced the cost of living go up like most people. Some of the allegations against former Mayor Aaron Stewart include seeking reimbursement for every vacation, personal and sick day she could have taken over her 12-year tenure and was given more than $150,000. She received more than $31,000 in city reimbursements for tuition at the University of New Haven. Investigators say the money benefited her personally, not the city. Angela says it's an injustice to the people in New Britain.
We have teachers that were about to lose their jobs just because of money. And there's not enough money, and we keep getting money taken away from us to support New Britain, and the taxes and things like that keep increasing. And for her to fund her schooling as well as, you know, maternity clothes and things of that sort, that is just a disgrace.
Nairi Alexandre says the money could have helped solve other issues the city faces.
We got schools and stuff, kids, you know what I mean, like programs they could be running for kids to not be in the streets and stuff like that, so the money can go to better places. You said, how much again? More than $200,000. That's a lot of money. That's more than, I could probably grab like 4 people in this parking lot, and all of us together don't make that much money in a year, so.
Some people I spoke with who did not want to go on camera said they think the allegations are not cause for concern and that the investigation will eventually settle down. But Alexandre and Angela say Stewart should face the consequences.
You got to do time. That's the way I look at it. If it was me, I would be doing time. So nobody is above the law.
They should press charges or whatever. The city should press charges, you know what I mean? Something got to be done about that. That ain't right. You know what I mean? That ain't right.
Mayor Bobby Sanchez of New Britain said, quote, the findings are deeply disturbing and raise bigger questions about who knew what was happening and who signed off on it, end quote.
As these allegations come to light, other cities are now calling for their own P-card investigations. In New Britain, Kay Pattyfoot, Fox 61.
Meanwhile, in Wallingford, officers are investigating missing funds from Highland Elementary School's Parent-Teacher Organization Fund. The board alleges they are missing $22,000, leading to outrage from parents. A letter was sent out to parents that says the discrepancies were found after a review of the PTO's financial records. One parent says he's wondering how something like this could even happen.
The town is so egregiously underfunded when it comes to the schools anyway. And then you couple that with the fact that the parents rally around, you know, the community and try to generate funds to do things. This is money that could have went towards that. Is upsetting.
In their email, the PTO board did not specify whether the funds were stolen or not. And drivers who illegally pass stop school buses will face steeper penalties. Governor Ned Lamont signed a new school bus safety law yesterday. Under the law, drivers caught 3 or more times failing to stop for a school bus's flashing red lights will face a mandatory 6-month license suspension. Currently, violators face a $450 fine for a first offense and up to a $1,000 fine and 30 days in jail for repeat offenses. And Milford police say Wednesday's deadly shooting was a targeted attack. The shooting happened early in the morning inside a home on East Broadway. A man was killed and a woman was hospitalized. We're working to find out how she's doing in the hospital. Police said they are putting extra patrols in the neighborhood out of precaution. They stressed that there's no threat to the community. And dog owners in Bristol say they're concerned after they found potentially harmful items at a dog park. One owner says unusual items were found at the Bark Park along Rockwell Park Road.
There were things that were kind of off last weekend with the rocks. There were like some weird substances covering them, like oil and coffee grinds are super toxic to dogs.
Says that she reported her concerns to police and the city with the hope that action is hopefully taken. Well, coming up, check on your medicine cabinets. Certain Gas X soft gels are being recalled over possible contamination concerns. We'll tell you which ones coming up next. Also ahead, if you're flying this summer, your travel plans could be affected. Why American Airlines is cutting some routes. And there's a little relief for home buyers. Mortgage rates are moving lower as the housing market shows more signs of slowing. Those stories coming up on Fox 61. Stay with us.